on the way to get this quick workout in. And people always ask me, man, how do you stay consistent when it comes to like you're working out? If you don't do anything, you gonna make sure you get that in. And usually I tell them like, man, it's a lifestyle. It's not just something I do because I got a goal that I'm trying to get to. And once I hit that goal, things start over. That's not the case because, I've been consistent for years now and I feel like I got started late. But here's the thing, to be honest with you, when it comes to my connection with the working out or the gym or whatever, there's a lot of areas in our lives where we feel like we don't have a whole lot of control, even though we know we have impact. And just the reality is sometimes it don't feel that way. It don't always feel like that you are in control of your life or that you have control. And it sometimes it feels like things are just happening to you. That's just natural to feel that way. But when it comes to the gym or working out, man, it's like one of the few places I feel like I pretty much have total control over the results. I've done it so long. I've studied it so long. I've figured out what works for me so much so that for the most part, if I come in there, like I know, even if I fall off, I get sick, I get injured, I know how to come in and do what I got to do to get my body back to where I want it to be. And a lot of people struggle in that area. A lot of times they're focused on like an end goal. I got a trip to come up. I'm getting right for my wedding. I'm trying to get my summer body. I'm trying to fit into something or whatever it is. And maybe it's just a health thing or whatever. But for me, it was like, I was always a slim guy and I struggled to gain weight, man. I'm thinking in probably most of high school, I probably was like 130 pounds, maybe 140, if that. And it wasn't until later, man, until it really clicked and I figured out how to get my body to respond and just really getting into the gym and working out like that. Because when you're small, like a small guy, it's intimidating because you see those guys and they're big and they feel like they got it figured out with their body and you starting from scratch. You feel like you don't want to get next to somebody and they're over there benching 200, 300, whatever pounds. And you're not sure if you can lift the bar or whatever. So that's one of the few places I feel like, I have control over the results that I get. I know exactly what I need to do. And I've worked at it and I've studied it and I've done it over and over and over again. And that's the same thing when it comes to you. If it's a gym or any other area in your life, is that if you're intentional about the results that you want to get. And for me, I wanted to get bigger. I wanted to put on some muscle. You go study and look at other people who have been able to do that. And you look at their patterns, you see their habits, you see their mindset, and you take on those things and you apply them to yourself. You don't have to do exactly what they do, but taking on a lot of the principles and the things that they use to get their results, that's going to help you to get the results that you want as well. And for me, another reason is that it's not about the end result for me, because a lot of people look at me now. Some of my boys joke with me. They'll see that I've gotten a little bigger and put on a little more muscle. And they're like, man, like, you got it. You did it. Why are you still working out? Where are you trying to get to? And they don't really understand that it's really not about the destination. It's really not about trying to get to a specific goal. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm not doing it just to look a certain way so other people value me or any of those kind of things. I'm not doing it for the summertime. I'm not doing it to take pictures. I'm not doing it for any of that. So my habits, my mindset, the things that I do on a daily basis when it comes to this, my actions are not tied to a result. They're not tied to an opinion. They're not tied to anybody else but myself. They're not tied to getting to a particular place. And because that's the case, I can always be in a state of improvement. I can always be in a state of getting better and learning and evolving, because I'm not waiting for a result. I'm not going in, if this don't happen, then I failed, or I haven't figured it out, or I don't know what I'm doing, or it's not working. It's none of that. Yeah, I have times where I don't feel like going, but I still go. I have times where I'm just tired and I have to push through. And I have some times that my body is like, hey, we need some rest and you need to chill out. And beforehand, I used to just try to push through that. But no, I learned to listen to my body. Sometimes your body will tell you. Sometimes I don't lift as heavy as I usually do. Sometimes things just feel heavy. Sometimes things that not usually heavy feels heavy to me. And that's all right. Because I've learned to accept that. Because I'm not worrying about what the person next to me is doing. I'm not worried about how much this other guy's lifted. I'm not worrying about what this other person looks like. I'm not worrying about any of that. Because I'm only competing against me. I'm only competing against the yesterday version of me. That's the only person that I'm trying to beat. That's the only person who I have to prove something to, is that yesterday version of me, to say, hey, I seen what you did. That's my bar and I'm going to beat that. And if I keep doing it, I just keep raising that bar. That's how I evolve. That's how I stay motivated. That's why I don't need anybody to work out with me. Yeah, sometimes I work out with people. I'm on my way to work out with some of my people now, but I don't need it. Like, I learned so much. The reason why I'm able to be effective now is because I learned so much when I was doing it by myself. Like, you can't really find out who you are, what you're capable of, what you need, what your body needs. You can't really figure that stuff out until you do it by yourself. And like I said, that goes for everything. You're going to have some times where you're going to have to do it by yourself. You're going to have some alone, lonely, just me, figuring it out, making mistakes, taking L's. That's what it's all about. Like, you're going to have to, no matter what you're trying to do in your life, no matter where you're trying to go, before you can become that person who can do that in any environment, no matter where you go, no matter who you around, you have to accept that you're going to have to do those things by yourself first. That's where you're going to thrive. That's where you're going to build those muscles. And I'm not talking about your physical muscles. I'm talking about your mental muscles, your emotional muscles, your motivational muscles, your inspirational muscles. I'm going to push past the self-doubt muscle. That's when you develop those things. Not when you win, and not when you there, not when you've gotten to a place where you wanted to be, or you gotten specific results. That's when you build those muscles.